All right. So, is Trump a victim or a pure holy guy with patriotism in his heart? I wanted to create this video to dive into this real quick. So, first topic is he a holy man? A man Jesus would want to save America. A kind of man that's kind to others. Um, so, well, he doesn't respect the sanctity of marriage. He had affairs. He paid a porn star to keep quiet, and while his wife was pregnant and had some other um, activities with a playmate. So that's not good. Also, he lied about COVID, said it was not a big deal. Flew to the hospital. He didn't drive, even though it was driving distance. He flew there in the helicopter. Got the experimental drugs. Kept telling people, it's nothing to fear about. While he had COVID, he gave it to Chris Christie, who was in pretty bad shape, asthma, overweight. Many people died from his lies, from the initial COVID wave. COVID was worldwide, with many countries taking it seriously. In case some of you say, COVID's nothing. COVID's something. But maybe that didn't convince you. Well, not only that, he doesn't pay others, he stiffs them, even doesn't pay much of his taxes. I mean, he kind of like said he was going to reveal his taxes, which was pretty much the norm of presidents to reveal their tax returns. But he lied, and also he's a very immoral business ethics. And a book here shows, the art of the deal show that. No? Well, Trump also created this university as a scamming because he scams a lot. He had a couple of charities, and he was ordered to pay 2 million for that. That's pretty underhanded stuff, and around eight of them, eight charities. No, all right. So he got support of unholy people, racist people, the worst kind. In the debate stage, Trump declines to denounce white supremacy with Chris Wallace. His racist rhetoric has made hate great again. That and the violent clashes in Charlottesville on white nationalists. He said there were fine people on both sides. That's just a small example. Basically, he made hate great again. A ex-White House aide, Marosa, hopefully I said that right, says Trump is a racist. Well, I would probably say so. Yeah, he got like a lot of support. But Trump's ban on diversity training, and also he lacks it in his administration, focus on stopping diversity. His Let's not forget the George Floyd protests at the White House. Many people know Trump's stance and protest there to point out that just to make a point that he went into the bunker while everybody is protesting at the White House. He could have united the country, but instead he divided it with hatred. It's funny. It's funny to see Trump holding a Bible while tear gassing peaceful protests, pretending to be a holy man while never solving the unrest he helped cultivate with his increase of hatred. He factually is the biggest lying president ever in our lifetime. He has lied to everyone's face, non-stop lying. I mean, there was so much lies. This is around 30,000 within 4 years. There's probably more. The guy just lies non-stop. It's definitely proven. You can take a look at. There's so much lies that he says. Probably he's lying nonstop. It's around 21 lies a day. This guy is the biggest liar. So No, Trump's not a holy man. He's a very immoral person. And I think even slides, well, I'll leave that. I think there's a lot of slides after this that will support that as well. Moving on. Is this a witch hunt? Is Trump a victim of a witch hunt? Is he an innocent man? Well, let's look at his actions to get a good idea on what's going on. Now, his administration, looking at his administration record so far, criminal indictments nonstop. So lots of corrupted people here. And based on other administrations, even Richard Nixon, this guy is pretty damn corrupted. A lot of indictments here. Many went to jail. And within this nice tree here, you'll see that there are a lot of Russians involved in here. But yeah, there is a substantial amount of people that have been lying for the mob boss. Now, Trump does very good mob boss tactics. It's very clear and mentioned about him by many. He mentions what he needs to be done, shows anger or hints, but never says anything that may incriminate him. Allen is one example of many, pleading guilty to 15 criminal charges, including grand larceny, criminal tax fraud, and falsifying business records. He is the fall guy with pleading with a plea agreement. Like Michael Cohen, he's definitely a fall guy. He doesn't need to say it, but made it known the orders without self-incriminating himself. Trump does. And he Al Capone it. He is the Al Capone president of our lifetime. And there's a lot of people, like Mr. Bolton, U.S. National Security Advisor, wrote a whole book and points out Trump as being very shady throughout the whole book. John Kelly uh, mentions words like immoral and abnormal actions, trying to stabilize the U.S. in this administration. Uh, John Kelly was chief of staff. John Bolton was national security advisor, and these are just two main examples. And John Kelly says Trump has poisoned Americans and needs to go, was one of his statements. These are not the only close staff members that say the truth on Trump and work with him. There's many people wrote books. He has directed millions of dollars from U.S. taxpayers to his businesses. He dumped his salary, they made off beyond corruption off of it. He has stole money from overcharging off the voting volunteer victims. Hush money, well, he mob boss told Cohen to pay the porn star. Clearly, it's not to pay for random. Looking at the charges and everything I told you, is this a witch hunt? No. The guy is very, very shady. Cases is going on, and it's going to take a while. But yeah, he's guilty. Like Al Capone, maybe tax evasion will stop and jail this guy. I'm not sure. Look at the character, the actions, the charges. All point to he's a witch. I have not mentioned many other things like the Mueller report, etc. But this guy is a witch with an itch. Now, well, some of you are saying, at least he's patriotic. Let's look at those flags. I mean, those are a lot of flags, and look at the way he's hugging that flag too. That's a good hug. That's a good hug flag. January 6th event alone is an debate ender. on this topic. Lives lost. He could have stopped this, but he didn't. He started it. He stopped it late, very late, all to decertify the election by force. He endangered the vice president, Congress, etc., and threatened the VP to decertify, but the VP had no authority to do that. Even the vice president said history will hold Donald Trump accountable for it. You notice many at this point that worked with this guy says negative stuff about him. There is videos, there's so much information on this. This alone proves he is not patriotic. But just for fun, I'll just throw some other stuff in there. Yeah? Anyone attacking democracy is not patriotic. The president and his allies filed 62 or so lawsuits in state and federal courts seeking to overturn the election results. He created a movement for MAGA to claim rig every time they lose the election. The Stop the Steal was a power grab, a stop to transfer of power that made our country so awesome. There is a taped call pressuring the Georgia officials, threatening to find votes. Now, many audits that were conducted, like Cyber Ninjas backed not only was completed the audit, but also backed that Trump lost and added more votes to Biden. I mean, this was tremendously funny, and that was a big news audit, and that was pretty funny. But let's look at the election lawyers of Trump. These are pretty much jokes. No proof and a clear failure. Rudy and Sidney Powell, baseless claims of rigged presidential elections. These guys are having legal issues due to their evil actions. So let's see here. Fox News, propaganda for MAGA, even in the Dominion lawsuit, showing that they all knew that it was lies, and they lied to the American people on purpose. Dominion is a case on the lies to destroy the company to further Trump's lies on the elections and the voting system illegally rigged. But that was a complete lie just so that he can seize power. Not only is Dominion suing defamation lawsuit, but also Smartmatic, and there might be more. I'm not sure. There is so much attack on democracy, so much by this guy, and he started it. Trump even went postal and set DeJoy to stop the mail-in ballots. DeJoy added policy to slow the mail as much as possible to stop the vote. Attorney General had to file a lawsuit along with others to stop Trump's minion actions. So much lies that helped Trump's coup on the January 6th. An attack on our whole country. But he helped start the movement of false patriotism. No amount of flags, flag underwear, kissing flag, or cars and boats with flags will make this guy patriotic. The false patriotism was non-stop, and to think that people still support the lies and the power grab of this guy. The first slide that on this patriotic topic I thought was enough, but just in case, I put some more stuff into this video, and I could add more, but I want to make this video as short as possible, so I'm trying to go as fast as possible here. So this guy is a bad guy. I mean, this guy is a bad guy. He's not holy. He's not patriotic, and he's no victim. This guy is a bad guy. And just in case you didn't know, in Star Wars, this guy This guy is a bad guy. This guy is a bad guy, right? And in case you didn't know, this guy who was racist against Muggles, this guy is a bad guy. This guy is a bad guy, right? It'd be horrible to have Trump serve another term. Here's a picture of Trump trying to grab something in midair, like he always does in his speeches. We can't have another 4 years of this guy, right? So yeah, I just wanted to make this video really quick. I can't stress enough, this guy is a bad guy. It's not patriotic. You know, he increased false patriotism. He's no victim, and his character is heavily flawed. He's a bad guy. Thanks.